Hectic.
Welcome back to it, you guys. Usabukele yona nkqubo iphambili yolutsha apha eMzantsi. This is Hectic 99. Now, earlier on, you guys, I mentioned that we will be breaking down the idea of motion sickness. Now, we will be traveling a lot these holidays, visiting friends, family, and Dr. Darren Brown is here to break this down for all of us.
It's green, not brown.
I mean, Dr. Darren Green. I'm so sorry.
Good one.
Okay, cool. So let's actually get into, what you're more about before we actually talk about motion sickness. So, how long have you been practicing, and what inspired you to actually get into medicine?
Thank you. Just over a decade, I'd say. Decade and a half, if you have to be accurate. And I think a lot of the inquiries about medicine came from losing my dad at a very young age. So when he passed of cancer, I think wanted to understand why, how the human body works. And then later on, I had a complete love of sport and outdoors and so on. And I really was fascinated by the human body, the physique of the human body, how it all moves, how it works and so on. And from, I think, round about the age of 12, I think I wanted to become a doctor.
Oh, wow.
So it's a powerful position to influence people's lives, but also to practice what you preach.
Okay, so let's actually move into, the idea of motion sickness. What is it all about?
Sure, so as the term says, motion sickness, so it's all about movement.
Okay.
Otherwise referred to as travel sickness.
Okay.
So when you move, you can imagine on holidays, we go on rides, we go to theme parks, it's roller coasters, it's on boats, it's on ships, etc. And that rocking motion, all those movements give feedback via a nerve to the inner ear.
Okay.
But your eyes are also giving feedback. So what your eyes are seeing on the horizon of the waves moving as you sit on a ship or a boat, for example, doesn't correlate with the movements that are actually happening in the ear. So there's this confused message from the ears going in on the one side and from the eyes on the other side that then confuses the brain completely, that leads to things like nausea and the sensation that you actually want to vomit, for example.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it's all about.
Okay, so it's not in your head, because a lot of people think that, oh my gosh, I'm just going crazy a little bit. So it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, but anxiety and things like fumes of petrol and diesel and so on can actually exacerbate it. They can make it worse. So it doesn't help getting anxious about it. What actually helps is focusing on your breathing and doing the prep work before.
Okay.
That's crucial.
Okay, so who are the people that are actually more prone to motion sickness? Because,
children.
some of us don't suffer from it. So.
Children particularly, and a lot of them outgrow it as they move into adulthood or late teenage years. And then women actually have a greater incidence of motion sickness than men. But what we need to obviously realize is that there are many factors that contribute towards it. People don't know exactly why some people get it and others don't. We just know that the sensitivity to motion is something that occurs in certain families as well. Okay. But, there are a few things you can do to prevent it, and that's quite important. And I think the first thing is to firstly not have big meals when you're traveling. No alcohol or big meals. Don't sit at the back of a rocking car, these old big boat cars, for example, that move a lot. Limit your movement. Close your eyes and sit still, for example, if you're struggling. Get some fresh air. Open the window. Get some fresh air into the car. And then, obviously, if it's really bad, then you might want to consider some preventative medicine that you can take beforehand.
Now, is it curable, or is it something that you'll always face if you have it?
I think many people get over it, really. They, spontaneously just grow out of it. Most of them do. So you repeated your stimuli to whatever you're doing, whether it be on going on boat rides and so on, you get better at it. But a lot of people that have the complications and struggle with it need medication. So they'll know, if I'm going to go on a boat trip, I need to take medication prophylactically.
Okay.
And that definitely then changes the quality of life on your holiday.
Okay, so for our viewers right now, when they go on a trip and they may find themselves, suffering or, more prone to motion sickness, what are the tips that you would specifically give them right now?
Yeah, so I'd say, firstly, limit the motion. So where you're at on the boat or whatever, the lower you are on a boat, the less it rocks, for example. Sit in front of the car, not the back. Open up the window for some fresh air. Focus on your breathing. Breathe slowly. And then things like ginger are said to help with the nausea, particularly. Don't drink large amounts of alcohol and big meals before going on a trip. Have regular stops, for example, where you can actually just rest, take a small walk, and then carry on sitting down.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Darren Green, right there, you guys. I hope you guys learned a lot from all of that. I'm sure that you have, because I have right there.
Hectic.